And, you tend to get a lot of bigger guys at an event like this because bigger guys are the ones that are often marginalized in mainstream gay communities. But there's a lot of different people. There's a whole spectrum of body types that appreciate one another. As long as people who come to the event have an appreciation for a full spectrum of body types and want to celebrate with their brothers and celebrate everybody else in their own skin, they're welcome.
Hi there.
Hey there.
We're Bears in Excess.
I'm Eric.
I'm Christian. And this is the Bears in Excess show.
And in today's episode, we're going to be bearing our soul.
Yes. And why? Simple. Because we're going to talk to Freddy Freeman,
the director of marketing and communications in Easton Mountain.
Yes. Is where his event, Bear Your Soul Winter Hibernation, is going to happen in January 2024.
January 11th to 15th to be exact.
So we're going to talk to him about the event, about him, and other stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Freddy.
Hey, Freddy.
Hi, guys.
Good to see you. It's been so long.
It's good to see you, too. It's been a long time since I've seen each of you in person.
Yeah, very long.
Actually. Very long.
Can you tell us who is Freddy Freeman?
We know, but...
Yeah.
Well, sure. I'm happy to
don't.
I mean, I think the first thing I would say is, even though I'm 53 years old, I'm still trying to figure out who Freddy Freeman is. It's an ongoing process of constantly rediscovering new things about yourself. But I'm somebody who my life's work is bringing people together and giving people opportunities to feel better about themselves, to feel more comfortable in their skin, to celebrate themselves at whatever shape, color, size they are. I'd say I'm a community builder, and I really enjoy that. It's my life's work to create opportunities for people to again connect and relate to each other authentically and to just be more in touch with their full authentic selves. That's kind of who I
am. Okay. So what does body positivity mean to you?
Body positivity? It means celebrating the body you have, regardless of whether you want to change it or not, or regardless of whether you can change it or not. It means inhabiting the skin and the body that you live in with grace and pride and feeling good in your skin and sharing that with other people. Basically working what you got.
Which is also a journey, like you mentioned about you learn about yourself, is also learning about ourselves too.
Sure. Yeah.
What you can do.
Very true.
Especially now, social media is so nice in many ways, but so bad in other ways. Because so many criticisms, our page, Bears and Says, always have, once in a while, you have some guys being negative about others. Oh, but this is not a bear. Oh, this is not this. But it's so insane.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
Social media is a double-edged sword. It gives people an opportunity to celebrate themselves, to find other people who think like they do, to create community, but it can also really amplify a lot of negativity. So I see social media as something that it's kind of neutral, and it depends on how you use it. It could be used for good or for bad. And I've definitely seen, some platforms like what you're doing, what I'm doing. But even within that, like you said, there's always comments, there's always haters. And I don't think that's going to really ever change. But we just keep putting out the positive vibes. You just keep creating opportunities for people to be their best self and keep working the positivity no matter what.
Very true.
Very true.
Just to do our part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your event, it's in its 10th year. How did it get started?
I started Bear Your Soul in 2013, January of 2013, at Easton Mountain Retreat Center when I first went there with my old friend Kendall. And we went there to what we thought was going to be a music gig because we were doing concerts around the country called Bearpalooza. I'm also a singer-songwriter, and I have albums out. And So when I went to Easton Mountain, I realized I had an opportunity because I saw the kinds of events that they were doing. They were doing smaller events. They were doing events that really emphasize community and emphasize connection. Whereas I'd been going to bear runs for, a decade before that, and chub events, and they were great, but they were a lot of, food, sex, and dancing, which there's nothing wrong with those things. But I just thought, I want to bring another layer to this. I want to bring, authentic connection and helping people feel better in their bodies. And when I saw what Easton was doing, I got the idea to create an event called Bare Your Soul, which would kind of be the best of both worlds, kind of give people an opportunity to dance and have good food and connect erotically, but also to bring these other layers to it. And so that first winter I created a workshop called Loving Your Bare Body. And it was an opportunity to get people naked and celebrating each other's bodies in a really light way. It wasn't like a sex party. And that was part of the first Bare Your Soul. And so the first one was sold out. So I realized that I was onto something, and I've been, just growing it ever since and refining it and making a lot of mistakes along the way. And after a decade, I think we've really developed something that is solid and has, a format that really helps people to come together and get in touch with their best self. And it's been a journey, I'll tell you that.
So tell us a little bit about Easton Mountain for those who
Sure.
haven't been there yet.
So Easton Mountain is a retreat center in upstate New York. It's near Albany, and it primarily serves LGBTQ people. Most of our produced events are primarily for men who love men. And it was started 23 years ago by a man named John Stasio, who was a body worker during the AIDS crisis in Boston. And he began to want to find a way for men to come together and connect deeply and have ways of safely touching each other in the face of the epidemic. And he started retreats at YMCA camps around Massachusetts called A Weekend with Our Brothers. And this was probably, in the 90s. And as those grew and became more popular, they started looking for a place to call their own. And John found a piece of property in the year 2000 in upstate New York and bought the property. And with a lot of help from generous friends and donors, he opened Easton Mountain. And a few years later, it became a nonprofit. And it's been around for 23 years now. And it's grown into what it is today.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
So tell us about this year's Bare Your Soul Winter Hibernation at Easton Mountain.
Yay! Our winter event is one of two events that we do a year. We do one in the summer and in the winter. And the winter one, you would think it would be less popular, but it's actually both events do really well. And people who are dedicated to the winter event, they really like the coziness of it because our events are small. A sellout for us is like 75 people. So you really get a chance to really connect deeply with us. It's like yoga. We have different workshops, and in the winter, everyone's inside. So it's really cozy. We have a sauna. We have a hot tub. We have space for erotic play in the evening if you want it. Workshops on body image, art, music, discussion groups. And it's a really beautiful, wonderful getaway where you really feel held by a tribe, by a real sense of brotherhood and community that really embraces everyone, especially new people. A lot of wonderful things happen at Bare Your Soul.
Very special, very important also, especially people feeling welcome. So much hate, so many issues, so people feel nice with other guys and themselves.
Yeah, it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about the team of guys who are helping with Bare Your Soul.
Well, we like to try to bring on new people every time, and I'm really excited that one of the new people that we got this January, his name is Mr. Larry, and he has Mr. Larry's Craft Show on YouTube, and he's a great personality who teaches people how to make beautiful things and sparkly things. And the host team and I and Larry had a conversation the other day, and Larry's really excited about helping people to do some sort of craft workshop that'll help them make something that'll go as part of our of an altar that we're going to have for our ritual that we have. We have a ritual every Bare Your Soul where people get to, if they want to, they get to claim a name that they'd like to be known as in the community. Like, for example, my bear name is Golden Heart, and there's a whole story behind why I have that name. So Larry is excited about helping the guys to make something that will be used in that ritual. And we're going to have an altar that people can put things on, things that are important to them. And then we have a ceremony around like a candelabra, and it's a really beautiful thing. It's a really important part of what we do, and people love it. It really gives them a sense of tribe. So we're excited that Larry's going to do that. And he's also going to do another workshop to help people make, he showed us these scratch boards. It's a beautiful thing that you can do with words and affirmations on it and glitter. And so we're really excited to have him. We're also excited to have back Elohim Leafar. He is a practitioner of indigenous magic who is going to, again, help people make some candles that are going to be used in the ritual, as well as doing a workshop on gay men and witchcraft. So we're really excited about that too. And some of our regulars are doing workshops, like Adam B. Shapiro will be doing the art of the tease, and I will be doing Loving Your Bare Body, which I talked a little bit about. We're going to have a talent show. Wayne Lease will be doing creating intentions with essential oils and paint, which is a wonderful workshop where you get to express yourself with essential oils and make a painting. In addition to those workshops during the day, we also have activities in the evening that everybody attends. We have a talent show that we ask people to prepare something for. We have a dance party with a DJ. We usually have some sort of game show night on one of the nights. I know that Shane Scott will be doing a workshop helping people to ask for what they want and really establishing like community agreements about consent, because I think that's really important that you're asking before you're touching people. And so he really helps people to do exercises to what they don't want and set boundaries. My good friend Tyler will be doing a workshop on queer icons, like the people that have inspired us in the queer community. Our friend Andrew is doing some theater improv games. And then also he does something called the River of Life that lets you map out your history like it was a river on a piece of paper. And if there's snow, we're going to go tubing at a nearby ski place down the road. So in the winter, we like to plan stuff for the snow, but then we have to have a backup plan because some years there's not snow.
One of the videos on your YouTube channel talks about discovering, thriving together, opening your hearts. Tell us a little bit about your philosophy.
I think we do that by not just giving people opportunities to dance and party and have fun, but also, doing things that really create deeper connection, that really open people's hearts, that allow people to feel safe enough to be a little vulnerable with each other. Deep communication. Like, for example, everyone who comes to Bare Your Soul is assigned to a small group, and they meet with a small group of people every day. One of the facilitators will lead it, and then there will be probably 5 or 6 guys per group. And then you meet with that group for an hour each day after breakfast. And, you get to process what's going on for you at the event, what workshops might be challenging for you that you want to do. Like, for example, a lot of people, when they take my workshop called Loving Your Bare Body, you're required to get naked if you take the workshop, and you're required to exchange touch with other men in the room, like regardless of whether you're attracted to them. A lot of people are scared to do it because what I find, I don't know, maybe you guys have seen this too, is that if you put a bunch of gay men in a situation where they're not really talking to each other, but they're having sex and, you know, sort of a back room kind of environment, it's a lot easier to get naked in that environment than it is to be completely naked, like in the light, being seen by people for who you are. So people find it difficult to be naked on that level because there's a lot of vulnerability to it. So the small groups, like, you know, you get a lot of people saying, I really want to take Loving Our Bare Bodies, but I'm scared. And then they get support to see if they really want to do it or not. You know, and everything's optional, but, you know, I'm talking about that as an example of how the way we design things and things like the small groups really provide a structure and a support system for people taking chances and for people like stepping outside their comfort zone to discover more about themselves and more than they thought they were capable of. Yeah.
It's interesting also because, as it says in a Rev House,
Yeah.
we have sometimes people messaging us asking, they're shy, they've never been to that kind of place, how they're going to do all this image.
Yeah. So I, for example, give tours to first timers, showing them the different parts of the bathhouse. And in the dark areas, I lead them by hand. Because
just my hand.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to do. Do you find that doing that enables them to feel more comfortable taking a chance to ask for what they want and to get what they want? And good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Some guys are very shy. I could feel them trembling a little bit. And then later on, they come to me and like, oh, thank you for taking me around. It really helped calm me down. So
Because they think it's an orgy too. They think if they go there, they're going to be attacked. They say, no, it's nothing to do with that. Just a sauna.
Yeah.
You can do the sauna, do the jacuzzi. You can play pool, you can just drink. You don't have to do anything if you don't want.
Yeah,
just
it's only when you want to.
If that happens. But it's about being in a place of people can be friendly, they can make friends. It's not really that both there, but it's good for them to feel comfortable also to their bodies. Because just being in a towel or a towel can be.
Yeah, some people just go there because they're nudists and they feel comfortable being with other nudists.
I can understand that because people ask me all the time, like, if I come to Bare Your Soul, like, is it an orgy? Do I have to have sex? And, you know, the answer is you can have as much or as little erotic exploration at the event as you're comfortable with. We provide a space for people to explore erotically, like with some of the workshops, like a trio massage erotic workshop that we do. We provide a space in the evening called the Bear Den for people to explore erotically with each other. But this is all optional. Like somebody could come to the event and not do any of that stuff and completely just connect with people by playing board games with them or by, you know, sitting in a hot tub together. And like you guys said, being comfortable in their body, even if they're not having sex. The whole point is that our sexuality is a part of who we are that's not separate from anything else. And that if we feel like engaging in healthy sexuality, that should be an option, but it's up to us. It's up to us how much we want to do that or not. So we provide an environment where you can feel comfortable doing that kind of thing or not. And hopefully we provide an environment to do it if people choose to be erotic with each other, that they're doing it in ways that are completely open and present and being fully seen and really connecting with each other. Because my experience with a lot of gay spaces that include eroticism is that it just always seems so, not always, but sometimes it can feel very like separate from who you are. And you're not really showing up. You're going into the back room, you're going to the bathhouse, you're doing sexual things, but you're not talking. You're not really being seen for who you are as a whole person. So I like the idea of fully present and integrated sexuality, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yep, definitely.
Also, there's in bathhouse, for example, there's the pressure that you have to perform or to do something, but there's no
There's no
for us, there's no
pressure.
pressure. Just
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah,
You don't have to do anything.
true.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here. No pressure at our event. You could just do the erotic things or not and still have a wonderful, beautiful, rich experience. We say choose your own adventure. Yeah, people come to this event and they come away and they say, oh my God, I met so many great new friends, and people develop really deep bonds and friendships from coming to this event. And, you know, a lot of my very best friends in the world are people who've come to Bare Your Soul. And some of the people who originally came as participants are now helping me to run it. So we're always looking for people who are coming to the event who have talents, who can present workshops, people who want to step up and be a part of, presenting something to other people. So it really creates a real sense of community.
For example, we met you at Bear Run.
Did I first meet you at that crossroads, or was it something before that?
I think
It was
that one.
It was at Crossroads.
It was in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And I remember I was there as the performer.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun.
Yes,
Good
it
event.
was. So, what are some of the misconceptions of your event?
I love that you asked me that, because there's two misconceptions that are both opposite, but I get both of them. On the one side, I get people who say, oh, all you guys do all that new agey, hug each other and kumbaya stuff, and nobody ever has any sex. And then on the other hand, I get, oh, it's one big orgy all the time up there, 24/7. So we get people who have both misconceptions, and it's really neither and both, and somewhere in between, and some of a blend of a lot of different things, like we talked about. You know, we do want to give people opportunities to go deeper, but we also want people to have fun and enjoy their sexuality and dance and have good food. So yeah, we get misconceptions on both ends of the spectrum usually about sexuality and nudity. Like, people have this idea, like I said, that it's either really prudish or really perverted.
Yeah, it's hard to have a halfway sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a bit of both. It's also
Yeah.
the explain, like you mentioned, that some people think it's an orgy. They explain, no, if you're lucky, maybe, but there's no guarantee you're going to have something there.
Plus, it depends on the person.
The joke is that, yes, we have an orgy, and then we have a heart circle to process the orgy afterwards.
How does an out-of-towner get to Easton Mountain?
People coming from Boston, New York, Philly, and places south, they either fly or take a train into Albany, and then it's about a 40-minute drive from Albany. Usually there are people carpooling who can bring you up from Albany, or Uber and Lyft come up here for about $50.
Can you share any funny stories about past events?
I don't know about funny.
Or interesting, or...
I mean, I can tell you that the last event we had was our 10-year anniversary, and it was really special to me because we treated it not only like a regular Bare Your Soul, but like a celebration of 10 years. We had some people there who were very instrumental in the beginning 10 years ago, and there was an awards banquet, and it was really nice to, recognize some people. Of course, I got a special recognition and some wonderful words for some of my supporters, and it was really special. And I got a chance to honor a guy that you guys may have heard of. His name is Les Wright, and he's written some books called The Bear Book, and he's also started something called the Bear History Project, and he just wrote a memoir. And Les was at our first summer Bare Your Soul at the very beginning in 2014. And we had a discussion about what a bear is. And he was a part of that discussion. So it was really great to bring him back after 10 years and give him a Pioneer Award. And I did an interview with him about his new memoir right in front of everybody. And that was really special to me. It was a big deal to me. The decade. We've been doing this for a decade. So.
And there's my famous question that is, since you're celebrating the 11th anniversary, 11th year, so what the Fred Freeman from now would advise or tell the Fred Freeman from the first time?
The only thing I think I would tell that Freddy from 10 years ago is you don't have to make it so big. Like the last 10 years have been a process of editing. Like in the beginning, we tried to do way too much. And now I'm a little bit more like, no, we don't have to have 3 workshops at a time. We don't have to cram everything together. We can have some breaks during the day.
Okay, so invite our viewers to attend Bear Winter Hibernation.
Absolutely. Whether you're chubby, skinny, hairy, otter, pear, cub, whatever you want to call yourself, if you want to come and celebrate yourself and be in your body and connect, play, and discover with a bunch of guys who are open-hearted and of every shape, color, and size, and just have a really good time, get away, then come to Bare Your Soul Winter Hibernation. We would love to have you. We'd love to see you.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So what does a person get for the price they pay?
All of our rates include all your meals, which are home-cooked, chef-prepared meals, and your accommodations, and all of the programs, all of the workshops, all the activities, hot tub, sauna, everything's all included.
If I miss one of the workshops, can I do it on another day?
Usually not. Sometimes we are able to do that, but there's usually so many workshops that people want to present that it's difficult to fit in repeats. So there will be choices to be made. Because usually there's 2 choices going on at any given time slot. You can have choice A or choice B. Because we have a building called the Temple, and we have our great room. So there's usually one thing going on in the great room and one thing going on in the Temple. And if scheduling allows, sometimes we will repeat things. But it just depends. I haven't been able to totally firm up the schedule yet. Chuck and I are working on it, and we know who the presenters are going to be, and we know what workshops they're going to do. In the next week or 2, we'll probably finalize the time slots so you can have a detailed schedule on the website.
The website here, the Instagram, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to talk to Freddy,
ask him a
his
question.
Instagram is here.
I'm very friendly. You can always DM me.
So thank you so much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
It was great seeing you again.
I always enjoy talking to you guys. Hopefully I can get you guys down to the event sometime.
Oh, back wearing shirts again. Oh, no. So thanks, Freddy, for talking to us.
Yes, thank you so much. It was really great seeing you again.
So don't forget his event. Going to be beginning
January 11th to 15th.
2024. So for more information, you can check their page, Bare Your Soul. They have Instagram. They have Facebook. And can even contact Fred Freeman.
If you want to ask any questions about the event.
Yes. And speak about following, check our website, bearsuccess.com. We have our YouTube, which you're watching.
Which you're watching.
We have our names.
And stay fluffy.